Caitlin Clark has earned a starting spot on Team USA's new squad. Angel Reese was benched. The announcement sent shockwaves through the basketball community, but not for the reasons you may expect. Reese's enraged reaction to being sent to the bench has revived every topic, from alleged intentional fouls to a bid to compete with Clark's golf crossover success. The December Duke training camp was intended to balance the playing field. Instead, it appears that it will exacerbate the disparity. If you support Caitlin, please leave a comment with the hashtag #BabyGoToVerbaGiraffe. The forthcoming December Duke training camp is Clark's opportunity to redeem himself after being left off the 2024 Olympic roster. Since Clark joined the Wnba, head coach Kara Lawson and USA Basketball Managing Director Sue Bird have actively monitored her professional progress. They were not only keeping note of her debut season record-breaking stats, they were looking at her leadership development and abilities to help teammates improve. Clark walked into the Durham facility with some baggage. She was coming off a groin injury that ended her 2025 WNBA season early, whilst other players had entire seasons to demonstrate their abilities. The timing couldn't have been worse for someone attempting to prove her worth on the national squad. But Lawson and Bird had seen enough of Clark's first two professional seasons to believe she was worth serious consideration. The coaching staff had witnessed Clark improve Aaliyah Boston's career at Indiana. Boston transformed from a good post player to an excellent two-way threat as Clark began putting her in ideal places. Their pick-and-roll chemistry became the basis of the Fever's attacking approach. Clark would make passes through traffic that most guards couldn't notice, and Boston would finish strong around the rim. Kelsey Mitchell had a similar career rebirth while playing alongside Clark. Mitchell had always been a gifted scorer, but Clark's court vision created scoring opportunities that Mitchell had never had before. The veteran guard achieved career highs in assists and field goal percentage. Because Clark commanded so much defensive attention, Mitchell had cleaner looks than she had seen in her whole WNBA career. Lexi Hall's development told a similar story. Hall progressed from a bench player to a dependable starter capable of knocking down open threes and defending various positions. Clark's ability to create open shots for role players became a distinguishing feature that the coaching staff couldn't overlook. It wasn't simply about individual talent anymore. Clark had proved that she could raise an entire team. Bird and Lawson were more impressed by Clark's leadership qualities throughout her professional seasons than by her college accomplishments. Clark learned to handle games without forcing shots. She gained the confidence to execute complicated offensive sets under pressure. Most significantly, she demonstrated her ability to absorb feedback and modify her game to changing systems and persons. Clark's rapport with Boston is immediately apparent to everyone watching. They use pick-and-roll sets, which forced offenders to figure out coverage. Clark's pass timing was flawless, and Boston's rolls to the basket resulted in easy points. The coaching staff envisioned a collaboration that may serve as a foundation of their offensive strategy for many years. Other players struggled to find the same rhythm when they entered the professionals. Angel Reese struggled to adjust to the tempo and spacing that national team basketball needs. Her skill set was effective in college, but the international style of play will reveal certain flaws in her game. She was unable to consistently create her own shot against great defenders, and her passing was insufficient to run point forward settings, as we saw when she was given point forward for the Chicago Sky. Clark's performance during the training sessions demonstrated that she had progressed beyond her college reputation. She was not a player who relied only on long three-pointers and dazzling passes. Clark had evolved into a complete floor general capable of scoring efficiently, passing the ball effectively, and making sound decisions under duress. The coaching staff identified a player capable of operating their offensive at the greatest level. Clark won her starting spot via pure basketball ability, not politics or media attention. She outplayed veteran guards and demonstrated her ability to adjust to various lineups and game strategies. Her rapport with current national team members was evident, particularly with Boston anchoring the front court. Clark had established herself as more than simply another roster member. She became a foundational talent on which Lawson could build for the 2026 World Cup and the 2028 Olympics. The Olympic snub, which had earlier seemed like a crushing defeat, had become the impetus Clark needed to reach a new level of basketball dominance. Reese's outrage over being benched is understandable given her history of jealousy towards Clark. Reese had an explosive reaction to Clark's accomplishment before. The pattern has been developing for years, and anyone paying attention could spot it from a mile away. The pattern began with the so-called unintentional flagrant fouls, which were anything but accidental on replay. Reese had a pattern of making strong contact with Clark during games that deviated from typical basketball plays. The officials may have labeled them basketball fouls, but the replay showed a different story. These were not plays performed in the heat of the moment. They were planned attempts to scare Clark and throw her off her game. Remember how Kennedy Carter surprised Clark with that cheap shot during a 2024 game? Reese was captured on camera clapping and enjoying the nasty play. She wasn't attempting to hide her response. Reese was actually pleased to see Clark knocked down by a player from another club. That moment revealed all about Reese's genuine sentiments for Clark. Most players would have remained neutral or even expressed compassion for an injured opponent. Reese decided to celebrate. When Clark was named Time Magazine's Athlete of the Year, Reese's social media post revealed a different story about her genuine thoughts. Rather than praising Clark or remaining silent, Reese shared content that appeared to divert attention away from Clark's accomplishment. She discussed being disregarded and underappreciated shortly after Clark got one of sport's most prestigious awards. The timing was not coincidental. Reese's disastrous Reebok shoe launch highlighted how desperate he was to compete with Clark's brand domination. Reese chose to introduce her Reebok original trainers in Indianapolis, the home of Clark's Indiana Fever. She felt she could steal some of Clark's thunder in her own garden. The strategy failed completely. Nobody attended Reese's Reebok event in Fever territory, making it one of the most embarrassing marketing failures in sports history. The empty venue spoke volumes about who had genuine fan support in Indiana. Clark packed arenas and drew enormous crowds wherever she performed, but Reese couldn't even fill a small promotional event in the same location. Then followed the "I can play golf" too remark as Clark dominated LPGA headlines during her off-season golf appearances. Clark had been making waves in professional golf circles, competing in pro-am competitions and demonstrating true ability on the course. Her crossover popularity was leading to opportunities that no other WNBA player had ever experienced. Reese noticed Clark's interest and couldn't resist trying to join the conversation. The golf statement was really jealousy disguised as confidence. Reese had shown no prior interest in golf or demonstrated any ability on the course. She simply tried to downplay Clark's remarkable achievement by implying that it was not that special. Anyone could do it. According to Reese, the comment fell flat because people saw right through the purpose behind it. Her business announcements consistently followed Clark's large transactions. Clark signed with large brands, and Reese announced her own collaborations just days later. When Clark was featured in national advertising campaigns, Reese would promote her own endorsement work. She was constantly playing catch-up, hoping to match Clark's momentum with her own announcements. Forbes' selection of Clark as the most powerful female athlete sparked another round of Reese's subtle reactions. Instead of recognizing Clark's accomplishments in women's basketball, Reese took the opportunity to discuss her own impact on the game. She presented herself as an alternative narrative to Clark's success tale. Each event indicated the same thing. Reese couldn't handle Clark's success and constantly tried to undermine it. Whether it was physical plays on the court, social media reactions to accolades, unsuccessful marketing endeavors, or desperate attempts to replicate Clark's crossover success, the pattern was unmistakable. Now that Clark is starting for Team USA while she is on the bench, the cycle of envy has reached a breaking point. The national team selection is the ultimate affirmation of Clark's basketball greatness, and Reese finds herself exactly where behavior has always indicated she should be. Clark's starting position is not solely about basketball. She's creating an economic empire that Reese can't touch. While Reese focuses on theatrics and social media stunts, Clark has created actual market value through authentic excellence. The numbers don't lie, and they reveal who truly makes a difference in women's sports. Nike's deal with Clark Dwarf is for $28 million, which Reese was able to secure with Reebok. This is not your usual WNBA endorsement contract, either. Nike structured Clark's contract in the same way that they do with NBA superstars. She receives a signature shoe queue, guaranteed payments, and revenue-sharing agreements. Nike invested in Clark in the same way it did in Michael Jordan decades ago. That level of investment from the world's largest athletic brand speaks volumes about Clark's market potential. Clark's iconic Nike logo release received more attention than Reese's entire shoe collection combined. Those interlocking CCS arrived in Times Square and took over social media feeds. Her stuff sells out within hours of restocking. The resale market reveals the true picture regarding demand. Clark's stuff sells for 2 or 3 times its original price on secondary markets. Fans pay a premium merely to wear her clothes. Clark's injury-related absence marred Reese's Reebok launch over All-Star Weekend. Even when Clark wasn't playing, she made more headlines than Reese's big shoe reveal. Clark's LPGA crossovers and pro-am partnerships demonstrate that his appeal stretches far beyond basketball fans. Her visits at Pelican Golf Club generated extensive media coverage, reaching sports fans who had never seen WNBA games. Nike Golf recognized the opportunity and developed endorsement partnerships exclusively for Clark's golf programming. The LPGA saw Clark's drawing ability and formed a multi-year collaboration to benefit both parties. Other organizations recognize Clark's contributions to their events. She appeals to viewers who do not ordinarily follow women's basketball. Clark's 7-figure speaking engagements demonstrate his cross-market power. Her virtual speaking fees begin at $100,000 per event. Clark is scheduled to speak at corporate conferences on her record-breaking rise and impact on women's sports. The Long Island Association paid a premium to have Clark keynote their autumn conference. Business leaders want to hear from Clark because she represents more than just athletic accomplishment. She exemplifies a type of breakthrough success that transcends industries. Meanwhile, Reese's Reebok collaboration continues to disappoint, with low sales and consumer engagement. Her signature shoe debut received less attention when compared to Clark's Nike offerings. Despite peak promoting periods, the market response was lackluster. Reese's social media involvement with company announcements pales in comparison to Clark's organic reach. Consumer interest simply does not exist at the same level. The retail data demonstrates a dramatic contrast between genuine star power and manufactured excitement. Forbes ranked Clark as the 4th most powerful woman in sports. She is ranked alongside executives who lead large organizations. Forbes does not give out these rankings based on potential. They track actual influence, income generation, and market impact. Clark increases attendance, affects media deals, and generates real economic value wherever she visits. This acknowledgement reinforces her reputation as a credible sports business force. Clark's selection to Team USA strengthens all-brand partnerships and opens a door to Olympic-level sponsorship opportunities. International exposure opens up options with multinational brands that had never considered WNBA relationships previously. Olympic competitors command high endorsement rates, and Clark's starting position places her in that category. Major organizations want athletes to represent greatness on the world's biggest stages. The corporate world acknowledges genuine star power, and Clark's debut role demonstrates she is a real deal. Companies invest in athletes who can generate measurable results. Clark's track record demonstrates constant growth in all company metrics that matter. Her brand collaborations build excitement, boost sales, and provide long-term value for all parties involved. Clark's brand worth has just increased by millions with a Team USA announcement. While Reese sees watches from the bench, corporate sponsors pay close attention to national team selections because Olympic exposure provides unparalleled marketing opportunity. Clark's commercial empire continues to grow, while her competitors struggle to develop long-lasting brands that resonate with customers. Clark's rise from Olympic snub to Team USA starter demonstrates that excellence triumphs over turmoil and jealousy. She used the rejection as motivation to reach a whole new level of basketball proficiency. The 2026 Fever season has quickly emerged as a must-see basketball event. Clark brings Olympic-level expertise back to Indiana, so fans should expect to witness an even more polished version of the player who set 62 records in her inaugural season. Her Team USA training will improve all aspects of her game. Angel Reese can stay upset on the bench as Clark crafts the next chapter in women's basketball history. If you agree with Caitlin, leave a comment below. Baby goat trumps baby giraffe. Like the video, subscribe, and enable all notifications so you never miss out. Please click the video on the screen, and we will see you in the next one.